A Closer Look is a series on my blog which spotlights young men and women in the worlds of media, business, and other creative career pursuits.
At first, no. College was one of my journeys for sure. I originally wanted to do music and acting. And then when I did some background work, I did some like extra work. I was a stand-in for Little Kim, and I loved it, but then I realized it's not very consistent work unless you're an A-list actress or something. So I did end up going to school, and I was like, what else can I do that I feel is passionate? I like to talk. I like people. I tend to be nosy sometimes. So I kind of just sat there and put what would work for me, my creativity, make me feel happiest. And I chose that. Originally at Penn State, I started with music. Like the radio, more so of the side. And I do like radio, but once I transferred over to Kane University and I really got into Kane TV and doing like lead reporting and things like that, something clicked. It was so random, but in that moment, I kind of knew, like, this is what I like to do. This is fun. I like the feedback I'm getting. I'm taking it serious. I'm diving into the researching of it all. So to answer your question, at first, no, it wasn't exactly what I wanted to do. But once I got my foot in the door at school and I saw the work that goes into it and how it works with my personality, I knew that it was a fit for me. When I got to Kane, I think it was like it was my junior year, I actually interned at CBS This Morning. And I would shadow Gayle King, Norah O'Donnell, and Charlie Rose right before he had gotten released. And that alone gave me a lot of experience. I would wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, get picked up by the van. They would take me to New York. You know, your coffee runs. But I was actually on the TV set, helping with the TV script writing, learning, how they interact when there's short changes, live set, and things like that. And those things definitely I carry on with me on my work ethic and how I want to present myself, especially being in that type of field, being a woman of color, Black and Hispanic. There aren't many in that office. So again, having to present myself in a certain way, you just carry all of that with you, and those experiences really do shape you when you are in the real world. Because even with me interviewing all these other experiences outside of the source, I am encountering corporate world of that, the other side. So definitely experiences like my internship with CBS This Morning, The Source, working under Zilla Valentine as his assistant, learning the ropes and networking. And networking is one thing definitely that'll help. Honestly, no. I think it's something I learned over time because even in high school, I went to Franklin High School. There was a big Want TV, it was called. So it basically was our big news station. And I wanted to be a part of it so bad, but I never had the guts to audition. I never put myself out there like that. So that's why, again, when I went to college, I'm like, whoa, this clique is very weird because I always had a feeling that I liked it, but never fully went for it. And when in college it clicked, I did it. And then when I got into the source, that was my real foot in the door, honestly, my real training, I would say. Script writing my own reports out, being in front of a teleprompter, being able to have it done by a deadline and a time so that the editors can have their time to put it on. I think that's what really trained me. Because other than that, I really didn't have that much training. And then even at Kane TV, if it wasn't for Professor Gilly just giving me free reign, she really just allowed me to have the mic, go out there, interview people. And when she saw how enthusiastic I was and how many views we were getting from certain videos, she was like, oh yeah, you're taking over, you're doing this, you're doing that. So I would say that it comes from just experiences, mentors. Like I had some people from the source, like Miss Nicole. I had Zilla Valentine. He is a very well-known entertainer, journalist. I've had a few people definitely who I've looked up to, even people like Lala Anthony. I really like her as a journalist as well as an actress, and something that I like, producing, acting, writing a book. Just no major training, but just experience. It was amazing. I think my first set of interviews with The Source might have been when they had Angela Yee come in. And now I didn't actually get to interview her, but I did write some of the questions during that time. So in that moment, I was like really proud, like those are my questions. But yeah, when I got to interview Nick Cannon, it was very nostalgic because he's a part of our childhood, you know what I mean, on Nickelodeon itself. So that was awesome. With Little Mama, she's so genuine, so nice that I wasn't even nervous. I just felt like I was talking to a friend almost. So those were my first experiences, yes. As well as my first red carpet was with The Source, Black Klansman. And I got to interview the cast. I got to interview Spike Lee. And that was crazy for me. My first red carpet, I remember being nervous. Like so nervous I thought I was going to throw up. Like I couldn't keep my nerves down. I was like stuttering on my questions. It was bad. I had Miss Nicole there though, so she definitely like helped level down and balance me out. But yes, those were my first experiences for sure. Doing celebrity interviews was with The Source. It was very surreal. I felt in that moment, it's a very like in the moment when you're thinking, you're only like, okay, let's not mess up on our questions. Let's just get this together. It was even a joke because I was stuttering and he's like, oh, they just threw you to the sharks, right? And I was like, no, like I'm not drowning. Like I'm floating, you know what I mean? Like I'm handling what I have to handle. And actually one of our interviews went pretty viral actually. And I will say in that moment afterwards, I was like, wow, I just interviewed Spike Lee. Like, oh, shoot. And it was a realization that this is definitely still what I want to do. And in that moment, I didn't let it defeat me, you know, because we're not perfect. And interviewing people like them, it gives me more fuel, gives me like, this is what I want to continue to do. Oh, I just met this person. I got this insight about them. What I love about interviewing is that you get to learn more about the person. We always say artist or celebrity, but you get to learn more about that person just diving into that work and asking the right questions because they'll just open up so much more. So interviewing people like Spike Lee and the many others that I have, it makes me feel good. It gives me a drive to keep going and know that I'm doing the right thing. Another I was gonna throw up moment. When you get moments like that, it really is surreal because again, I'm just still starting. So when I'm able to get opportunities like this, it's just amazing. It feels genuinely like, wow, you know, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm on the right path. That red carpet was crazy. From Angela Bassett to Brandy, every beautiful black woman on that carpet, to be surrounded by so many beautiful black women. I felt like I had a place. I couldn't wait to just interview everyone, you know, just to see what they were doing, what they thought. It's such an empowering moment. I'm very like pro-woman, you know, female empowerment. So that moment was like a high for me. Very nervous though still because I wanted to make sure I got great questions and great content. Hair and makeup, it was nuts. Last minute finding an outfit. I was stressing out, finally was able to find one. My mom actually did my hair. I did the braid and everything, but the glam team always comes through. My sister does my makeup. Like, we killed it. I loved my look. But always, I think I'm always more focused, as much as I am on the looks and how I am going to be on camera, is the questions and how I'm going to present myself on camera. And, you know, is everything going to be fluid? And I just don't want to ask the same question that everyone else is going to ask me, because on a carpet, you will have everyone next to you. And if they really wanted to, they could ask the same question they heard you ask someone else. And it's kind of like, you know what I mean? So being original, authentic, on top of my game, those are all things that when I'm on the carpet is what I'm focused on. My favorite thing would be... Wow, there's a few favorite things. Okay, so my favorite thing would be paying it forward. I love being able to be in a position now where if someone asks me, hey, Dante, can you connect me to so-and-so? Or do you know how I can go about something? And I'm able to provide those answers. That's always nice for me because I feel like it's a very full circle moment where I have been the other person before. I also, of course, enjoy meeting the celebrities and interviewing them. And I think what I enjoy the most is just being able to be creative and feeling like I found my place. I do feel like I found my place career-wise. It's not an easy journey, but I really do enjoy what I do. And I think that that's my favorite, is that it gives me that feeling of like, I really enjoy what I do. I love what I do. The hardest thing would be the whole mindset of like paying your dues. A lot of people don't realize that coming into this industry, you may have to do a lot of free work. It's not easy. Making sure you have a support system, because it is very easy for you to fall into a dark place and kind of question your abilities, question your success, compare. It's definitely always easier to point out the negative things over the positive things. You know what I mean? Because again, this industry is not easy. There's always going to be more no's than yeses. You're not going to get every audition that you go into. And so I think those are probably the hardest things. It's just like not doubting yourself and making your own lane. Sometimes that's hard. You know what I mean? Because you want to stand out compared to everybody else. You don't want to do the same thing. So those things are type of hard as well. But overall, if you outweigh the positive and the negatives, I also always love what I do. I love to sing. I really enjoy acting. If I could, yes, I would definitely dive into that, whether it even be modeling. Just using my creative outlets as much as I weigh, and also finding a way to get funds, you know what I mean? So yeah, Civic Mind was a great experience. I loved being a part of that film. We went all over short film wise, like from New York Film Festival to California. It was nuts. Yes, I would love to continue to act. I would love to continue to sing, tie that all into what I do now. And that's kind of why I brought up Lala Anthony earlier, because she is someone that I have seen to be able to go from journalism and then bounce onto being a producer and being an author and then being an actress. And if I could have it my way, that's exactly what I would like to do. I would like to be able to tap into all of my creative outlets, tie it into one, and make it work for me. One of my go-tos is always, I love to aspire to inspire. And I think that on the daily I do achieve that, especially when I get people who reach out to me and tell me how I influence them. And that is something that I want to achieve. But overall, what I would like to achieve is just not comparing, and Danteé being successful in her own way. And I know that's a weird answer to say, but I feel like so often we don't find success, or we feel like we didn't achieve anything because we compare. And I know that my own success is going to be when Danteé knows and is happy with who she is, where she is in her career, without comparing, without needing external factors of happiness and things like that. Those are things that I would like to achieve. On a career-wise, achieving would just be, I really, really hope to achieve being on television. You know what I mean? Like, I do a lot of website things, I do a lot of articles, but I would love to actually be on television. Whether it be hosting a show, having my own show, being a talk show host. You know, we see people like Nick Cannon, Ryan Seacrest, who even been hosts for, you know, game shows or things like that. I just know that what I want to achieve is being on television, being authentically me, being respected for my creative crafts and the things that I bring to the table. And what I would like to achieve is also longevity, as well as leaving a legendary mark in my career. So I'm hoping that I do something, many things within my career that allows me to be legendary within this industry, that allows me to have an impactful stamp in the game. And I don't know exactly what that'll be, you know, only God knows, but hopefully I will have those opportunities to be very impactful, to be legendary, to be respected, and to be a major name in the game. Happy and relaxed. Whew. Well, your girl's always stressing out, so I need to work on the relaxing part. But I would say music. I love to blast music. I love to sing. Being around my family and friends, I know that's pretty typical, but that does. I pay close attention to what's in my circle and how it fuels me. I would say also a face mask. I love watching movies. I could sit down and watch movies all day. And I like to be outside. If I could go for a hike, I know it's cold now, I hate the colds, but something outside is what I like to do, even if it's just sitting outside for a little bit and deep breathing. Meditation, I'm really into sleep meditation. And therapy. Therapy is a great self-care. And I don't think a lot of people take it seriously, or I think that people kind of like, no, 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 because I was one of those people. And I think that is a big part of self-care. Because again, this industry is not hard. I mean, it's not easy. This life is not easy. And it's good to go and speak to somebody. Keep you balanced so that you can be relaxed in some ways, you know? So yeah, self-care is definitely important. Okay, well, I do have a website that I'm going to be building so that all my work is on there, so it's just not only Instagram. Via email, they can always reach me, Instagram, but I usually don't want to do any business through DMs. Like, I try to do email-based. Danteé Ramos at gmail.com, okay? Don't give up on your dreams, and don't be so hard on yourself. And I say that because I'm somewhat talking to myself as well. And I know that it's very easy for people when you get into any industry. It could be the medical industry, it could be what I'm doing, it could be you going to be a singer, whatever the case may be. There are so many things that we allow to cloud our mind. It might scare us away from what we want to do. But just keep going. I think that's the most important, is just to keep going.
Perfect. Yeah, we are our toughest critic.
Yeah.